So today we're going to be talking about strength training myths, some questions that are very common and things people tend to look up online to get some more information about. So the first myth we're going to talk about is lifting will make me bulky. This one hits hard, guys. I feel like women ask this question especially, and because you're my target audience, I shall answer that for you. There's this fear if you touch weights, you're going to wake up and just start building these big muscles. You become a bodybuilder, right? But I'm here to let you know, getting bulky is hard. That is hard work, okay? It takes years of intentional heavy training, eating in a calorie surplus, specific muscle building programs, and often genetics and supplements come into play. It's not happening by accident. What actually happens when you're strength training consistently, with a moderate rate, we beginners in the gym, we just getting back into the gym after a little break, after rehabbing, right? Here's a consistent breakdown of what actually happens when you're working out regularly. You start to build lean muscle, you lower your body fat, which I love. You look tighter and leaner, more defined and more athletic. But here's what people don't realize. Muscles burn more calories at rest. I think that's my favorite little fact about strength training and muscles. So after your training, your body keeps burning muscles well after your workout, 24 hours to 72 hours after, okay? That's where I tell clients, let's go for a little walk. Let's take a 10-20 minute walk after our session, okay? That's where the magic happens. This combo is chef's kiss. But then we're gonna get into the second myth buster. Cardio is better for fat loss. Cardio burns while you're doing the work, right? But strength training burns calories while you're doing it and also well after you're done. Plus your muscles is metabolically active. So this means it burns more calories just by existing. But here's the honest answer when it comes to cardio versus strength. You need both. Also, you need nutrition. We'll never forget about that, right? You can't out-train inconsistency. Strength training while eating in a small caloric deficit, that's how you lose fat without losing muscles, right? That's how you actually looked more toned. Now we're going to get into our third myth, which is strength training ruins your joints. And I can say that's not true at all. This one kind of makes me sad because it's opposite, right? Strength training actually protects your joints, right? When you're doing different workouts like split squats, back squat, all those leg workouts, the workouts the girls love to do, the glute bridges, your knees aren't just bending, right? Your glutes and quads are getting stronger. While they're getting stronger, this takes the pressure off of your knees. It's not doing all of the hard work. When you do single leg workouts, you're also teaching your hips and your knees how to stay stable, how to be in control. Control improves your mobility, improves your flexibility, strengthens your connective tissue, and reduces long-term joint stress. Squats don't just hurt your knees. Weakness and bad mechanics do. So you want to make sure you are doing the workouts correctly. I'm one for really paying attention to my form. And if I notice my form is off, a lot of the times it means I'm experiencing a muscle imbalance. So many reasons why that can be, right? But understanding that and working on improving my form and strengthening certain parts of my body, and then maybe stretching or doing mobility to another part of my body can help me protect my legs, but also, I'm rambling. So squats don't just hurt your knees. Weakness and bad mechanics do. So you want to make sure you have good form. We talked about during my confidence cycle series that repetitive movements will help you understand what may need work, correcting your form. Also, learning a new pattern, a pattern that probably should be familiar to you because we're picking workouts that are functional, that we happen to do in our everyday life, right? Getting familiar with those patterns and knocking out patterns that our bodies aren't familiar with. For example, sitting at a desk creates a bad pattern that reflects how we feel, how our body feels, and also how we move. We're all about creating better movements and doing better in real life, making everyday tasks easier. It all just aligns. I can just ramble on about this, but we're not going to do that today. So the key is good form, control, and keep that ego at home, baby. We got time to live heavy. Let's get the basics done first, We got time for all that. Have to make sure it's charging. Then we have our fourth myth. It's too late for me, right? We're 30 plus. We maybe feel like we're kind of behind when it comes to health, right? Maybe it's too late for me to start strength training. It's too late to start working out. This one hits me really hard because this is my target audience, right? And I'm here to let you know that it's never too late. So after 30, your muscles slowly decline, especially for women. So it's important for us to lift weights, do resistance training, right? After 60, that decline, that speeds up. After 60, it speeds up. But resistance training literally reverses that trend, right? It helps you build muscle at any age, improves your coordination, reduces fall risk, helps you stay independent, and also improves balance and mobility. All the things that would help us perform better in real life. So it's never too late. You don't have to start with 5 days a week. Tell people this all the time. Start off with 2 days. Maybe one day you promise yourself a walk, and then the second day you work out that week, you tell yourself, I'm going to do a 45-minute resistance training session once a week. And once we get consistent at that for 3 months, for 6 months, and we can do it and we feel good, maybe add another strength day onto your schedule. So now you're resistance training for 2 days out the week, and then you have one day where you're just walking. I would like for you to walk at least every day for 10 minutes. Get yourself a nice little 3-miler in, But start there, okay? So remember, it's never too late. Now we're gonna get into how much should I lift, right? I feel like this is a great video to talk about it, especially for beginners. So here's what I tell beginners, all right? Step 1, master your body weight first. Don't worry about adding weight. I mean, if you want to start working out today, just go for a walk. Easy peasy, start going for walks. When you wanna master your body weight, squats, push-ups, lunges, wall press, glute bridges, bird dogs. I have all of these exercises in my beginner programs. And also I do a lot of this with my one-on-one clients, people that work out at home. We love it. They help you move well before you start adding load. This teaches you pattern recognition, motor learning. Now you're really in tune with your body, mind-muscle connection before we start adding the weight. Then after you decide to add your weight, right? Now you're at the point you're like, you know what? I can do this. We're going to go to the gym. I'm going to lift some weights. I'm going to do some back squats. I'm going to do some split squats with weight. Pick a weight. Pick a weight first where the first few reps feel smooth. Then the last 3 to 4, a little bit challenging. But we also want to notice our form staying clean. So I like to do beginner ranges from 10 to 15. It's so many ways I feel like you could figure out how much you want to lift, but this is how I did it. This is how I did it. 10 to 15 reps, 1 to 2 sets to start with. If you can do 15 reps, easily, add 2 to 3 pounds. Progress slowly every 2 weeks. I like to progress every 2 weeks. Some people do once a week. I like to do 2. Controlled and confidence. I feel like 2 weeks is perfect because I feel like that teaches you more about control and confidence. A lot of times when I start my program, I'm about to ramble. When I'm trying to figure things out, I give myself the first 2 weeks because I find before I even start adding weight, I either don't like the workout, it doesn't make sense to me, or I don't really connect with the form and properly doing it until the second week. And this is coming from someone who's starting a new exercise. Starting a new exercise, just like one workout, let's say I'm learning how to do split squat jumps, right? It's just like someone starting their journey for the first time. You're always learning. Everything you'll realize a lot of things you're going to be doing for the first time. So you want to get used to doing them. And I think after 2 weeks, I think it's a perfect time to progress, but also keeping that 10 to 15 range and seeing how you feel with the 1 to 2 sets. You'll understand and feel like you'll feel comfortable whether you should go up 2 pounds or go down 2 pounds, So I notice when you go into the gym, a lot of advanced lifters do this, lifting 1 set of 10 with no weight. So if you've been doing body weight squats for a while and then you decide I'm gonna start going to the gym and I want to do back squats, start off with no weight. Also, while I'm still now as a professional, right, at this, I've been doing this for a long time, I still do 1 set of 10 during my warm up. So after I do my mobility routine, I always start off with 1 set of 10 of back squats with a bar or body weight squats before I even get into my main lift, which is going to be the back squat. So I hope this is helpful. Now, also, can we build muscle at home? Yes, absolutely. Push-ups, squats, like we talked about before, lunges, step-ups, planks, right? If you use full range of motion, slow down the reps, increase reps over time, make variations a little bit harder, you will build muscle. Your body doesn't know if resistance came from a barbell or gravity, right? So it just responds to tension. Tension is the main word here. When you understand, I will do a video on tension, but when you understand tension and how it's important in your resistance training, you will see the gains, you will see the changes. okay? So some of the common beginner mistakes, I'll list them. I'm gonna save you some time with this. Lifting too heavy too soon. We don't wanna do that. Your joints will complain to you. Also lifting too light forever. We'll give ourselves a little challenge here. It's easy, but it's not adapting. Training the same muscles every day. Muscles also grow during rest. Rest is important after sets, after sessions, at night. Make sure you're getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep. I don't play about mine. Ignoring imbalances, right? All right. This is about building a body that works, not just one that looks good. So here's what I want you to understand, because this video is getting long. Strength training is not about becoming bulky. It's about becoming capable, being capable in real life, making real life tasks easier, right? It's about carrying groceries without pain, standing taller, feeling stable, feeling powerful in your own body. So start with one movement today. Body weight squats, go for a walk, push-ups, 10 squats, 10 push-ups, go for a walk. That's it. And then build from there. Need any help, you can definitely check out my website below. I have one-on-one coaching and I also have some great beginner programs. The 28-day cycle is perfect. Also, I'm coming out with an at-home 28-day cycle program. So stay tuned for that. And then we also have the 6-month continuum coming. It might be up by the time you see this video. But I also want you to comment below what myth I would say kept you from starting. Let me know down below and we can talk about it and have a little convo and maybe we can clear these things out, okay? So I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm glad you stuck around. Bye.
As I get a little older, I realize life is perspective. And my perspective may differ from yours. I want to say thank you to everyone that's been down with me.